Hello, and Randy here. Are you folks sick of painting videos yet? Well, let's hope not, because we got one more painting video coming up here. Actually, maybe two more painting videos. Depending on how I do this video here. We need to put the primer down in this room and the paint. With that being said, the wife does not have any paint necessarily picked out for this room yet. So we're at least going to get the primer down, and we'll see where the paint ends up here. We do have a little bit of carpentry we need to do in this room, though, before we start painting. So let me show you folks that here a minute. And the carpentry I'm talking about is actually probably more drywall work, although I'm going to be using wood for this. So you might notice I got what I would consider to be a fairly significant gap under there. I probably should have bought a little bit longer drywall, and I didn't realize them. But when I did this room, it turned out I would say okay. It's maybe just a little short on that side, but not too bad, like a ½ inch or something. It probably should be like ½ inch longer. This side, though, is probably like almost 2 inches too short here. They would typically recommend you want to be about ½ inch above your boards on the bottom here. Well, I'm probably good about 2.5 inches here or so of one. I didn't really want to have to buy like 10-foot long drywall and just, like cut, what would it be, essentially like 22 inches off. That just seemed like a waste to me. So I went with 8 foot here. And like I said, when I bought the drywall too, I didn't realize that this room, everyone, apparently is 2 inches lower than this room. The ceiling on this side was 2 inches thicker than the ceiling on this side. So for those of you who wonder what's going on there, that's what happened. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to take a board. I'm going to cut it to probably, I don't know, about 2 inches wide or so. I'll double check my measurements here. And I'm just going to put that down along the bottom, ½ inch thick, same as the drywall. And hopefully that'll kind of fill that gap in there a little bit. I'm just worried when I go to put trim on them, and that's just a little too much of a gap down along the bottom there. That trim might want to like go inwards, so I want to put a little bit more support back there. I thought about putting drywall down there too, but I don't know, like 2 inch thick strip of drywall seemed, I don't know, that just did not seem like it'd be a real strong idea. So I think I'm gonna go with the wood, and we'll just cut it down to fit in there. Well, I went like 4 or 5 hours later here. I finally got all my boards cut here. Had some trouble with the table saw. Ended up having to take it all apart, clean it out. And one of the, I don't know if it's called a guide or a way, whatever it is, inside where the table saw runs up and down on the track, had kind of got bent a little bit. And it was not letting me adjust the table saw. So, of course, when I could cut, my little ½ inch thickness here. But then when I wanted to cut the full thickness, yeah, that was not working. No, by the way, when I say full thickness here, I did not buy these boards. They're not ½ inch thick, because if you go buy lumber, everyone, I don't know, do they actually, maybe they do make some ½ inch boards, some of them, but at least at my local hardware store, I cannot find any ½ inch boards. If you buy a ½ inch board, it's more like 7/16. Yeah, I think it's 7/16 is the dimension you'll find on usually, Evan. So, and again, like you buy a 3/4 inch board, it's going to be what, 9/16, I think, or something like that, which is what these were. So this was, or no, this was 1x. That's right, this was a 1x, so it was like 3/4 inch thick. So what I did, is I cut it to my width I needed. I ended up going with 2 1/4 here. And then once I got that one, I ended up setting my table saw back up here and cut these to a ½ inch thickness. I don't have a planer, so, and for what we're doing here, just table saw ½ inch thickness, more than good enough. In fact, I don't know where I put the ruler, but I measured this. I did pretty good, everyone. This is exactly, at least according to the ruler, exactly a ½ inch thick. So what we're going to do now is I got my glue out here as well. We're probably going to glue and nail this here to the boards. And hopefully, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, we got a pretty good gap under there. So let's get started here gluing and nailing. Okay, when the boards are installed here, got one here. The drywall is just a little bit lower here in this section, although it probably should have been a little bit lower yet, but I'm not going to do anything else with that. I got a board there, and on the other side of this door here as well. And I think that actually turned out pretty good here. I got a little bit of a pry bar there just holding that board in a little bit. I wanted to stick out for some reason. I don't know if just maybe the insulation in there was boning out. I don't know what, but got that propped up like that. Hopefully once the glue holds or dries, it'll hold it in there, I hope. I don't know, if not the worst of problems there, I guess. Okay, before we start painting though, I think we need to wash this wall down here first. I noticed a couple of spots here, like we got some buildup. Yeah, we need to get that off of there. So we'll give this a quick wash here, and then we should be ready to start putting the primer down. Or, okay, primer or sealer? Where's my stuff? Okay, they call it sealer, Evan, or quick seal interior wall primer. So that's what we're putting down here from a Repco Light. Got the old 5-gallon bucket, same stuff we used on this side here. Got ourselves a 3/8 nap on the roller, and I don't know, I think we're ready to start. Yeah, like I said, once we wash them, we should be ready to start painting. I gotta say, even with just 2 coats of primer on here, that just looks so much better than what we had before. Of course, this is the new drywall, but even on the already existing walls, this one and then the one that's right up here, one just, yeah, it really makes the room look a whole lot different, a lot newer, everything. Yeah, that looks really nice. And of course, again, it's just the primer. Speaking of the primer, by the way, the wife went and picked out some paint here to actually be putting on these walls. And yes, we'll have to see what color that is. That one, actually, I know you can probably, looks like they got a little tint of it on there, so you can probably see it from there. Before we do the paint in the oven, I'm going to go ahead and take the sander here, just real lightly go across the whole wall. See if we see anything wrong. I know we had a couple things wrong over here. There's a couple of runs, so we'll probably focus on those a little bit. I think I just seen something down here too, so yep. I don't think that's a runner. That's just something that was already in the wall. Let's see if we can sand that down just a little bit there. That's the thing, when you start painting now, and it seems like it really starts to bring out the flaws. Speaking of flaws, what do we got going on up here? Not sure what that is. Just something stuck up there. There we go, got it off. So yeah, again, the sand oven, just real lightly, just going over it to knock down any high spots, or if we got like some sort of fuzz or something. I see we got a little divot there. Probably not gonna worry about that one too much. We'll see once though. I can maybe see if we get a little spackle. But yeah, with that being said, like I said, looks like it's looking pretty good here. I'm not seeing anything standing out at me like, hey, it needs to be fixed. So that's good. after days, well, actually, maybe I should say weeks worth of painting here, we are finally done painting. And you folks won't have to watch any more painting videos here for a while. We are done in the dining room here, everyone. Kind of just a light off-white color here. I'm not exactly sure what you would call this color. The wife probably has an exact name for it, and I'm sure the paint company probably has an exact name for this as well, everyone. But yeah, we got all the shades back on, covers on the outlets. We brought our dining room table in here. Yeah, we got the hedgehog's cage back in here. Lights are back up. Yeah, it is starting to look more like a room here again. Now, of course, we do need to finish the trim yet. That'll probably be here in another month or two of one. Want it to warm up outside so I can do the painting outside for that trim. I suppose we could paint it inside of them, but I much more prefer to paint that outside so then we don't have to worry about the whole paint smell and all that good stuff, right? So yeah, with that being said, the painting is done here, both in the dining room here and in the living room. I gotta say, I think they turned out really nice here. I think the colors go together quite nicely. Again, these colors, they came out of like a little book thing the wife got. Like, if you're gonna pick some colors, here's like a palette of colors that all kind of like go together, and you can use this for the wall and that for the trim and this for another wall. And yeah, great way to do it, by the way, if you ask me. You folks want to pick out some colors that go well together, get yourself one of those books, and like I said, it'll give you like half a dozen different colors that, you put this on the wall, put this on the trim, put this on the wall next to it, put this on the, yeah, real nice way of doing it, if you ask me, real nice way. So with that being said, if you folks have any comments or questions about this, hope you folks are enjoying the painting videos, because if so, this is the last one. Most of you folks are probably, that's enough of painting, right? So I don't know about you folks, but I'm thinking the same thing, enough painting. So again, thanks for watching, and till next time.